5 passive business ideas, not just any business ideas, but passive business ideas, and not the ideas that everyone chucks at you like drop shipping or affiliate marketing or Amazon FBA. We're going to come up with unique ideas, as I always do for you, and you can scale every single of these businesses to £1 million. But I hate stringing along the video, so let's get right into it. Number one, it's very important for you to understand that small drops can cut mountains and big tsunamis. I don't know where I was going with this, but the point is consistency wins every time. And small profits make a huge impact. Sometimes you guys are thinking about making £1 million overnight, or making £1 million in a year, or making £1 million over 5 years. Actually, what you should be thinking is, let me put it like this. And remember this quote. Watch it again if you have to. Charging one person £1 million is close to impossible, but charging 500,000 people £2 is actually very possible. And so let's break this down. You need to start a subscription business model. Now, by the way, let me give you some ideas. It could be a t-shirt subscription business model where you are providing white t-shirts every single month. It could be food related where you are providing healthy food meals every single week. It could be fruit juices, healthy juices that you are giving every 3 days. For example, some people love to go on a detox diet, and having that on a subscription model is massive. Now, actually, if you really break this down, and let's break this down together. If you charge one person £50, for example, if you have 1,000 people, just 1,000 people, you'd be making £50,000 every single month. Now, obviously, £50,000 is a lot of money. Obviously, having 1,000 people paying your services is a lot of money. But imagine if you had 500. Well, you're making £25,000 every single month. Let's lower that. Imagine just 300 people you had paying you £50 every single month. 300 times 50 is £15,000. Now, over the year, that's going to be £180,000. And your business, by the way, would be worth 5 or 6 times what it's making in a year, because it's a subscription model, and therefore your customer base is ongoing. You get money on a continuous basis. So having a subscription business model is super powerful. Now, how would you get customers? Obviously, social media, obviously, maybe even affiliate marketing, where you have people who go out and get the customers and you give them a little kickback. And obviously you would have paid ads, and there are many more ways where you can try to get customers. And you know what the crazy thing is? I was just thinking about this, and this isn't even part of the business ideas, but I'm going to break down another business model that just came to mind and shows the importance when you're coming up with business ideas and thinking about this stuff, how you might come up with an idea which could be a really good idea. Now, I'm not going to do it, so I'm going to share it with you guys. And I came up with this idea as I was coming up with these ideas for you. And that is, you could have a subscription model where you're sourcing products for people. And like, I'll give you an example. I searched the items that people need on a weekly basis. What are the items that everyone needs on a weekly basis? And some examples came up like shampoos, soap, hand wash, body wash, that sort of stuff, right? And give this a Google search yourself and come up with items yourself. Now, imagine getting in touch with people and saying, I'm going to deliver the best products that you need for yourself to you. I'm going to find the cheapest website where I can source those products, and all you need to do is pay us £9 an hour. Now, you could potentially end up saving them 15, 20, 30 pounds, but also it's a convenience. The fact that you are sourcing these products from a cheaper website online and then delivering it to their house, which means they don't have to go and shop for it. You obviously can give it to them on a weekly basis. You charge them a service for finding the products, and therefore you make 10, 15 pounds per person, and 300-400 people down the line, you're making £4,000 a month. Look, it's an idea. And maybe it does need refining, but it's there. And that's what you get, by the way, when you watch these videos. This wasn't even part of the 5 business ideas, but it shows how there are businesses that you can start and actually scale up. But look, let's get into number 2, because you guys want the passive business ideas and be able to make money whilst you sleep. Now, some people are doing this, and a lot of people do get in touch with me about doing this, actually, to be fair. And that is a paid community. Let me explain what a paid community is. And you might not have a social media influence, and therefore you're thinking, well, I can't do this. Well, no, actually you can. Because if you can get in touch with people who don't already have a paid community, and trust me, I get a lot of people getting in touch with me about this. To be honest with you, I don't feel like I'm in the right place or I don't want to be charging people for a paid community at this stage anyway. I have my recruitment course, I have a platform called Teach You, and I also want to be able to provide information for free, because then, I feel like it messes with my intention. So I always want somewhere where I can give back for free, and we have some channels where we can do that. And obviously, maybe I will leave that in the link below, where you can join some groups and we share free information all the time. But the point is this: get in touch with some influencers, get in touch with some people who have a little bit of following, and we'll ask them, I would like to create a paid community service for yourself. And I believe, we can get you to X number, whatever that might well be. I'll manage it all. I'll do everything. We're going to use your influence. And, if we can charge people 15 or 20 pound per person, and as long as you're providing value being the main thing, as long as obviously the person is going to give halal content and halal information, obviously, then you can even charge 10, 15, and sometimes if you're really good at negotiating, 20%. And trust me when I say the paid community area is huge. Now, if you can create a paid community for yourself, think about it like this: £9 a month, and you're providing genuine information. Could be related to careers, could be related to your CV, could be health related. There are so many places where you could create a paid community. Now, £9 every single month, 1,000 people. I know that's a lot of people, but 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, is it possible for you to have 1,000 paid community members? The answer is yes. And therefore, that's £9,000 every single month. So it's definitely possible. Now, number 3, as you know, I over deliver on the videos that I make for you guys. And so number 3 is actually 2 business ideas. I do them myself, and I'm going to share them with you. And firstly, you could do this for yourself. I have an office in Pakistan. You don't need an office in Pakistan. Actually, you need to find VAs, customer service people, sales people, in a place where the pay isn't as much. Could be Thailand, could be Pakistan, could be India, wherever it might well be. And then you get the clients from UK, Canada, and America. You're paying the person to do the work, maybe 2 or 3 or 4 pound per hour, but you're charging 9 to 10 pound an hour. And so in the middle, every time the person carries out the work, every time you get a project on for them, every time you have a client where they need people, you're making 4 or 5 pound. And honestly speaking, it basically is the person's working, they're doing the work, and you're getting paid. You could be sleeping. But the first business is actually my bread and butter. It's something that I've done from the start, and it's my recruitment company, which is what I started when I was 25 years old. And 6 months later, again, I say, alhamdulillah, I was making £20,000 profit per month. But there are 2 sides to a recruitment company. One's permanent and one's contracting. How does contracting work? Well, if someone goes out to work, someone carries out a project, there'll be a contractor, they will go work for a company. You as the middleman, you provide that person to the company, you payroll this person who is the candidate and therefore the employee for the employer. The employer will pay something like £20 an hour, and you will, for example, find someone for £15 an hour. Now, £15 and £20, that is what, and I'm giving very basic numbers. There's some more information on this, and obviously it's not as simple as I'm explaining it, but I'm trying to give layman terms. And you will have a guy for £15 an hour, £20 an hour is the charge, and in the middle, £5 is your profit margin. And so every hour this person works, you're looking at making a profit margin. And by the way, to give you an idea, sometimes it's 10, 15, 20 employees per company. So a company could turn around to you and say, we need 10 people in our warehouse and you need to find them. And so you will pay the contractor employee £10 per hour, and you will charge £20 per hour, for example. Now, it's usually not that high for a warehouse person, but I'm trying to keep simple maths. A rough idea, which is average, I would say, is £4-5 per hour profit margin per person. And for that 40 hours, if the person works, then you're looking at £200 profit margin. Now, by the way, if this sounds a little bit confusing, I'm trying to go through this as quickly because we've got 2 really good other ideas as well. But basically, you're making £200 per person. You have 10 of those out, you're making £2,000 per week. And after a month, you'll be making £8,000 per month. Wallahi, I'll tell you something. There were times I got contractors out, and for 2 or 3 months, I chilled out. Like, I would go breakfast with my friend, I would go eat with my friend, we would go chill out, we would go to London, walking around, living life. And even today, alhamdulillah, I've been able to retire early at the age of like 30. I'm now 31 because of my recruitment company, because there are people working and I get paid whilst they're working for a company. If you want more information on that, there is actually a video on how to start a recruitment company. I'll leave that in the description. It's on YouTube. You can watch it for free, and hopefully that's beneficial for you guys. Now, number 4, we're going to do selling a online product. Let me explain. Selling an online product, by the way, could be something like a course. It could be something like mentorship services. But but obviously for a mentorship service, you'd need to be involved, and therefore it's not completely passive. Having said that, spreadsheets where you're teaching people how to budget, spreadsheets or a document on CVs, careers, helping someone. It could be a recipe book. It could be a recipe document. It could be a health guide. Making online products and charging them for 9, 10, 15 pounds, you'll be surprised how much money you can actually make. And with online, with social media, with running ads, you can definitely sell 1,000 pieces. And so selling an online product is super, super powerful. Now, the last one, I think a lot of you guys are going to like this. I'm not a big fan. If I'm being honest, I'm not a big fan. But let me explain. Do you guys know where you can get the highest rental yield in the UK? And so what I mean by that is, let's say you buy a flat for £100,000 in London. For that £100,000, obviously you're not going to get anything for £100,000. You might not even get anything for £500,000 these days in London. But let me explain. For £100,000, you might get, £100 rent a month. But there will be other places in the UK where you could get £300 or £400. And so it's important for you to know where to buy a house if you're looking to put it on rent, because you'll be surprised. Sometimes you can make double, if not triple, on what you are making in your local area. So if you're in London, for example, it might not be the best area for you to rent. Actually, it might be better for you to buy a property up north in certain cities, which I will tell you where. And so therefore you can get a good rental yield on your property. So the percentage is higher. So the amount of money you put in, you get more out on a monthly basis on the rental side. And so you can, in these two places, get above 8% rental yield per year, which is a lot more than any other city in the UK. And that is Sunderland and Aberdeen. And so if you are looking, and obviously if you have some money, you can buy properties, put them on rent. And sometimes obviously you can split it up and, do rentals per room. You could do rentals for university places where you're renting rooms instead of the whole house. And therefore, obviously you can make more money. And obviously that's probably a complete separate video. I'm not a property specialist. I'm not a big believer in investing in property, but hopefully you like this video. Hopefully you picked up some gems. Like this video, by the way. Like this video and share with your family or friends. But if you don't want them to know the business ideas I've shared with you, you should love for your brother what you love for yourself, but make sure to subscribe.